Hi everyone, and welcome back to Tarot for You 444. Today we're discussing the traits of the Divine Masculine, and today we're going to talk about Sagittarius. So if you have a Sagittarius Divine Masculine, some of the traits you will find in them are compassion, loyalty, sweetness, the need to be right, the need for feeling as if you believe in them. They can be a little bit lazy. They can be a little bit like dictators. They like what they like, and they want to convince other people that they also like that. They are generally very loyal in relationships and will not be looking for third-party situations most usually. So that, that won't apply to everyone. And remember that all signs have their sun, moon, and rising. So Sagittarius is usually a leader, and they like to help other people align with their own truths. And you may find them in roles like, being a Greenpeace advocate, or standing up to others if someone's being bullied, as an example. And they love to have fun and laugh. Most Sagittarians will like technology an awful lot, so they may spend time on the computer or on social media. They might get lost in a game because they have really vivid imaginations, and a really passionate and vibrant spirit, and a big heart too. So with Sagittarians, they will generally stick around as much as they can in terms of friendships, but they usually will have a really small group of friends that they like to interact with. And without sounding snobby, they kind of would prefer that little group of friends to be around them rather than 5,000 friends. I mean, they might have 5,000, 10,000, 15,000 followers, or Facebook friends, let's say, but probably their main group will consist of like 3 to 5, or even less people. So if you've caught the attention of a Divine Masculine Sagittarius, you will know that they like you because they'll want to spend time with you. And if they go away for periods of separation, a lot of times they mightn't be doing the inner work, but they'll actually be following their joy or doing a hobby that they like. They're not really comfortable being alone with their own thoughts, unless they're dreaming or daydreaming about something that they love. They're actually action oriented, so they like to move forward with action. They like to go on the date, not think about the date. They like to eat the food, not make the food. Unless they're a chef, then they would also enjoy making the food as well as eating the food. But they like to be in constant movement. They don't like to be stagnant. So, if you know, they're online and their friends aren't around and they have to spend time on their own, they'll probably be interacting with something, you know, so nothing that brings them into their own thoughts as much. It'll be, you know, watching a movie or reading a book, or you know, playing a game or creating something, generally where they get to associate with other people. They really particularly don't enjoy being alone, because then they can sort of get into their headspace a little bit too much and overthink things. And then these, you know, in some cases, this what if scenario can come about, you know, what if my divine feminine doesn't really, you know, mean what she said? Or, you know, what if I go to soccer practice and I'm not gonna perform that well, you know? So when they're alone with their thoughts, they don't mean to, but sometimes they can bring it into a negative connotation, if you like. So they feel most vibrant when they're around people, and when they can speak. And sometimes they will speak out of turn, and they will speak up about what they're passionate about without thinking first. So if, you know, if someone was online and bullying someone, you know, in a racist, you know, slander or something like that, they would, instead of thinking about, do I really want to get involved here, they might just start having a rant and telling that person off for being belligerent. Because they are assertive and they're not afraid to speak their truth. But on the other hand, they will get annoyed if other people speak their truth and it doesn't agree with their own truth. So this can be a little bit self-centered and egotistical, I guess. But this assertion that they use helps them to be successful in life, because you know, if they sit around and think about how people have triggered them, this is when divine masculine Sagittarius can really go into, you know, that depressive stage. They like everyone to be happy. They don't like it when people are sad. They'll stick around when you're sad, but they will probably try and be the life of the party and bring you up, you know, bring your vibration up, and I don't know, win you over with their smile or with their eyes. You know, they've usually got a beautiful face, beautiful eyes. Some of them, you know, I mean, not that looks matter. I mean, looks matter as far as chemistry goes to some extent, but they might use their looks or their sexuality to please, you know, because they're fire signs, and, you know, that in the traditional tarot sense of, you know, the fiery wand, that can actually be like a phallic symbol. So sexuality to them is something that they will talk about, is something that they will own. They're not afraid to, you know, with the right one, they're not afraid to experiment and, I don't know, have a bit of fun, you know, sexually. But they do prefer an emotional connection as well, unless they're in the distorted masculine, and then they can be a little bit of a player type energy, depending on where, you know, this particular divine masculine Sagittarius is on their journey. So they won't intentionally try and hurt anyone, but sometimes they will, because they act or speak or behave without thinking it through first. So this is where they can get into the most danger. So if your divine masculine says something to you in anger or in haste, you know, or maybe comes, you know, onto you sexually or something like that, and you're not expecting it, that's a very Sagittarian thing for them to do. In their heart-based energy, they'll be kind, loyal, loving, generous, really fun. They can be the life of the party, definite leaders, but also quite lazy at times as well if they're not focused, because at the end of the day they really love doing what they love doing, so they'd much prefer to be at home enjoying their weekend. And you know, if they were into botany or, you know, I don't know, gardening, or I mean that sounds boring, but I don't know, gaming or something like that, that's what they would love to do more than their work. So they're kind of passionate about what they love. So if you want to talk to them and keep them interested in a conversation, the best thing to do would be to talk about something they like, and that will keep the conversation flowing, because, you know, they follow their passion. So if you've got the same passion as them, you get on like a house on fire. You know, if they're into comics and you're into comics, then you'll always have something to talk about. You know, if they're into animal rights and you hate animals, it's not going to work. I mean, I don't know anyone who hates animals, but just that was as an example. I hope this helps, guys. Sagittarian divine masculine will commit to the right person, but they like to be compatible. So yeah. Have a great day or night wherever you are, and I hope you enjoyed this series, Traits of Divine Masculine. I'll see you soon. Bye.